Looks like we're live now.
Okay.
I like the way it's looking. There we go. Lift your hand up. Let me get my phone out and see if we can be heard. Hello! 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 All right. So thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure who's all joining us right now. I don't think there's anyone actually. But since it is International Tabletop Day, we figured that maybe we could just hang out and play some games, and you could just kind of join us by watching us. Maybe you're sitting alone because your gaming group is out, doing things with family because of graduation. Because I believe that they kind of chose June 1st as a bad day to do International Tabletop Day, just because of all the things that are happening right at the beginning of the summer. People are opening their pools, people are going out with friends, there's events, there's things at the parks. There's, a plethora of things that are happening.
Yeah.
And graduation is the number one thing, high schoolers and college graduates and stuff. And so June 1st is not really...
I mean, with college, it just depends on what college you're going to.
Okay. But regardless, it's just a very busy time. April made more sense. So I'm not sure why they changed that. But, so I'm going to adjust the camera. And we're going to be able to, you are going to be able to see us play Timeline to begin with, but then we're going to pick some other things. So, all right, so let me get over there and adjust the camera. So I'll keep track of if anyone messages us while we're playing on my phone. And I'll leave the mic right there. I'll play some timeline. Have you played timeline before, Alex?
We played it. What? We don't want to see the dates.
And so I do believe each person gets
You get 4.
4 cards. Yep. Oh, this ball even got in here. Let me see those. Can you move those 2 boards? Thank you.
I don't know why I'm yawning so much.
Oh, because you haven't done much today?
I have done much today, thank you.
Yeah, we ran to Fort Wayne and then
And I had to babysit those children.
those children. You watched the kids while me and
Yeah.
your mama went to the store. There we go.
And then I've done most of my stuff, so.
I'm good. So you've had a lazy day.
A lazy day?
Yep.
No, that's a pretty hard day, but whatever makes you happy.
So we'll just set that there, and we'll put this one down here in the center, and let's begin the timeline. And you can go first.
Okay.
Actually, let's put it back here and start the timeline here so people can see it. Hopefully you can read upside down.
Yeah, kind of.
Actually, I'm going to zoom in on the camera better.
Oh man, because I know like only one in which was discovered. What's in yeah. I'm pretty sure it's right. Been like 2 years.
Zoom out just a little bit. There we go.
So then what?
So were you right? Oh no, you haven't. So flip it. If you're right, okay, and then it stays. So if I put my cards in front of me. And then I'm going to do the discovery of the ruins of Troy. I'm going to put that before 1604 and after 1546.
That's 1904.
What'd I say?
1604.
Oh, whatever, sorry. 1904. So I'm going to flip it. 1870. All right.
Oh, boy. This is hard.
So I'm going to try to turn down the light a little bit on overhead.
Okay. I'm gonna do the discovery of Brazil, and I'm gonna put that before the theory of microbes.
There we go.
And that was right.
All right. So I'm going to do the discovery of ruins of Pompeii.
Oh.
I'll say that happened between these two dates. And there, oh, I was right.
That one I have no clue.
Which one is that one?
That's the discovery of conditioned refluxes.
Mm-hmm.
And another one is the discovery of the Rosetta Stone.
Classical conditioning. So,
I'm gonna do the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, and I'm going to put it before 1870, but after 1600.
alright, let's see if you're right.
Probably not.
Yep,
Oh.
you were. Look at that. So I got the discovery of America. I'm going to say it happened between these two dates. I'm probably wrong. Actually, let's move these this way. And so, find out more. It probably happened before the 1600s, but yep. So I discard that one, and I draw a new one.
Not to sound mean, right?
Huh?
No, so not to sound mean, but like, have you heard the thing that goes
Is it 1472 or something like that? No.
Yeah, he sailed the ocean.
1492.
1492.
Yeah.
He sailed the ocean.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the song at the time.
That's okay.
So.
That's what I figured. Okay, okay. So I have the last card I have is the discovery of conditioned reflexes.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't know. Cause I feel like. I'm just gonna put it. It's probably gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna put it after 1904.
Okay. 1910. You're right. All right, so you won. So you gonna play this again or play something else?
We can play it again.
All right, so we'll just get rid of all these cards.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
So.
Because I think the last time we played together, you and Mama won.
Couldn't tell you, it's been so long.
I know.
So let's start with a new timeline.
So what is it? Oh.
So this is the appearance of the Cro-Magnon man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 4,000 BC or 40,000 BC, supposedly.
Okay. So do I go first again?
You won. You choose.
Alright.
Someone was eating something, got stuck on my game map.
Alright, so I'm going to do the arrival of the Mayflower.
Arrival of the Mayflower. Alright. So then I have the discovery of the Earth. Sorry, the discovery of the rotation of the Earth. I'm going to say that happened before Columbus.
But not Mayflower?
Sorry. Yes, sorry, the Mayflower. And after 40,000 BC. And I was wrong. I need to go back to school and learn my basic history.
You could join me in summer school if I ever do it.
You better not be doing it, and we're not gonna have that discussion right now.
I mean, like, when I have my own car or whatever. Like, when I can actually drive myself.
Yeah.
So that's the only time that I'll probably ever be able to do it. Anyway. I'm going to do the invention of Euclidean geometry. I'm going to put that before 1620.
Okay.
After.
Yeah, good guess. And then I got the Discovery auction. I'm going to say it happened between these dates. So I'll put it here. Probably wrong. I was wrong again. It's like, people were breathing it way before they discovered it. Alright, your turn.
Oh man, alright. I'm trying to think.
Also, I'm not sure how many people know this, even though this is International Tabletop Day. When I first started this channel, I started on International Tabletop Day. And I started that 2 years ago when we were living in Greensburg, Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've had this channel for 2 years. So I think that's something for me. It's a little milestone.
You just come a long way, so.
Yep. Alright. So your turn, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do the discovery of Canada by the Europeans. Where do I want to put that? The question is, was it discovered before? I don't know. I'm taking a risk. Gonna put it before 1620 and after 300 BC. And I was right. Oh man.
Alright, so I got the appearance of the Australopithecus. I'm gonna say that happened before Cro-Magnon. Negative.
It's before.
Yeah,
You're right.
7 million BC. I got one right.
Alright, so my last one is the invention of aspirin. So I'm putting that after 1620.
Yeah. And you're right, so I lose again. Alright, let's try something different. Apparently I don't know basic history.
Well, it's not just history, it's also science.
Well, part of history.
History, yes.
Alright. So I'm going to teach you how to play Reeve.
Yeah.
I just played this last weekend with the guys. So we're going to play Reef. Oh, looks like I need to charge my phone. So I'll get the one with the starfish, you get that one. We're going to have these out here.
Starfish.
Well, this board has the starfish, that means first player.
Oh, okay.
These cards here. So let me just get rid of this. I think I get a charger for my phone.
Alright. Jojo, come here. Come here. Hi, Jojo. Did you miss me? Did you want to come see me? Or did you just want to sniff around? Probably both. You're a good kitty cat. Yes, you are.
I'm going to back the camera up some.
Okay. It's my baby.
Alright.
I've been expecting you.
Hello, Clarice.
Oh, hi, Jojo. Thanks for calling up my shirt. appreciate it. But I still love you.
I'm sure she does. Alright. So first thing I'm gonna need is the rules. I got the rules right there. And so, based on the number of players is how many coral we set out. So we're gonna set out 18 of each.
Of each?
Yeah, actually pull out 20 of each.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. What did you put those over there for?
Oh, I'm sorry. I like how they're all different shapes. Yes! Let's go. Put it on me.
I don't know if I even got it.
Oh,
I think I did, but I'm not sure.
let's hope you did. That's weird.
What?
When you open that door, that one closed, and when you close that one opens.
There's the pressure. Pressure in the room. We need someone to install a cold air return in this. Alright. So, make individual piles. Okay.
Good idea.
Make sure they're in reach of both of us. Okay.
Here, can you reach that?
No, but I can always ask you. And now, we have our point tokens. Okay, here. Actually, let's just put the point tokens right here. Okay. We have our cards. It says to sort the tokens, but I'm not worried about it. It's just me and you playing. So each player takes 3 1-point tokens. So I'm going to take 3 of these. Whoever has the most of these at the end of the game wins.
Oh, the 1 point?
Well, no, points. So like, these are like, we have 3 points each starting. Because we can actually use these to get other cards. And I'll explain how to do that.
Stop blowing stuff up, please.
And then we get
Gracias.
1, 2, 3. Someone's letting off fireworks. And then we have...
Or to the shooting range.
What?
So, or to the shooting range for the part of the thing.
Yeah, it's too close to be...
Yeah.
Alright, so basically these are the point values down here.
Mhm.
I do believe. I just played this last weekend. So I want to make sure I remember everything before I explain it to you. Okay. Yeah, so these are the point values down here. Whenever you take a card, you put it in your hand, which we all start with. Deal with 2 cards face down to each player. So let's say I do this. Flip this over. Give 1 to you, 1 to me, 1 to me. And I'll put that back here.
So would we look at our cards?
Yeah, so we can steal them from other players. Then set the card deck face down aside for later. Take as many player boards, coral. I mean, I guess you could just do this and then flip it. So on our turn, we can either play a card or take a card.
Okay.
And so
okay, I have a question.
what?
I have a question.
What?
If you take a card, do you have to buy it?
No.
Okay.
However, if you take this card from this top stack here, you have to take one of your point tokens and put it on the lowest value card.
Okay.
So whoever gets that card later gets that point token.
Okay.
If there's a tie of points, you just choose which one you want to put them on. And then each player places one of his 4 coral pieces in the 4 center spots. So I'm going to take one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these, and you do the same.
Okay, so wait, what am I doing?
And so it says, like, for starting off in the game, you know, first time playing, it suggests putting these right in the center.
But do we have to?
Yes, because that's how we're going to play.
Darn it. Okay. So it doesn't matter which order they go in?
No. And so let's say I have this card and I play this card. This symbol here has the 2s. And they have to be next to each other, and they have to be on the second tier. Okay, you can't have more than 3 tiers. So let's say I had this and this here, and I played this card. I wouldn't get any points because I don't have the 2 tier and I don't have them next to each other. But let's say I had, you know, a 2 tier here and a 2 tier here, I would get 10 points. Okay, and this here, they have to be diagonal from each other, and they have to be 2 or higher. And there has to be 3 in a diagonal. And this one here, there's only so many of these kinds of cards. Basically, let's say you have a 3x3 space on your board, and let's say you have a green in that 3x3 in the center of the 3x3, and then all the red ones around it are going to give you 2 points each. So, like, let's say I played that card now, I would get 2 points for this here and this here. Okay. But when I play this card, I also take 2 yellow and I place them on my board.
Oh, I was about to put that.
Yeah. Yep, so I can either take a card from the display or from the deck into your hand, or play a card from your hand to grow your reef and, if possible, score a pattern. Does that make any sense? It's a pretty simple game.
Sounds complicated.
And it's really easy. You'll catch on real quick. So then it's the turn of the player to your left. Take a card from the card display, blah, 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 blah. All right. So I'll go first. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here. See what I'm doing? Okay. And then I'll put this down here and flip it. And now it's your turn. And so in this game, you're always thinking 2 to 3 moves ahead. Okay? Just gotta separate these a little bit. Alright, so let's say I play this card. I'm gonna just make a discard pile there. So I'm going to get 2 yellow, and I'm gonna put those on my board. So let's say I put it here. Okay, now I got a stack of 3 there. But now I'm gonna score this here, so I'm gonna get 2 points because I have 1 red next to a green that's in that 3x3. Okay? So let's say I get 2 of these. Alright, your turn.
What does that mean?
That means if they're, 4, you can move to 4 high. So if that one's on the 4th spot, you're going to get 5 points. And if you have multiples at a 4 tier, because earlier I said 3 tier, but yeah, it's 4 tier. Alright. So then, let's say I'm going to play that one. So I'm going to get 2 of these, I'm going to put them on my board somewhere. Okay, but since I don't, well, actually I do have a 3 tier of yellow, so I'm gonna get 4 points for that. Oh, try to flip over the top one. So I'll take that one. And your turn. Alright, so I'm going to I'll take this one. I'll replace it. Oops, sorry. So I'm thinking glare is coming from the window. Yep. So I just need to get thicker blinds. Alright. Sorry about that. I am going to play... I guess I'll play this one.
Well, didn't you just go?
No, you just drew. Didn't you? I thought you just drew a card. Oh.
I was flipping that over.
Oh, you played the card?
No, I flipped that over.
Oh. Did you play this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chicken.
So I'll play that one. Get 2 reds. Now's your turn. Also, when you score, you only score the reef that's at the highest tier. So, like, I can't score these ones down here. I can only score this one. So let's say I take this one, okay? Now I have to take this and put it here, and I flip that over. Alright, then your turn.
So what if I were to take this?
If you take that one, you're going to take the point with it.
Alright. It's your turn.
And this shows you how the scoring works too. Do you want to look at it? It shows on the inside page too. So if you look over here, it shows you scoring, and then over here.
Okay. Wait, we're scoring.
C is the yellow. All the tan or whatever, yellow, tan, beige. Alright, so I'm going to take that one. And then it's your turn. Alright. My turn?
Mm-hmm. You never flip the card, by the way.
So I'm going to play that one. I'm going to get 2 red. I'm going to place it here. And I'll place it here. Okay, but I don't have 2 next to each other of yellow, so I'm not going to get any points for that. I did get it.
And then I'll get the points because I have that.
Yep. So you're going to get a 5-point token. So let's say I play that. I'm going to put these here. So I'll put that.
So what happens if we run out of a color?
That initiates the end of the game. So since I went first, if I take the last of a certain color, you would get your last turn, and then the game ends.
Oh, right.
But now I get 4 points because I have these here. Now I can't get this because I already scored these. So I'd have to have one more here of a red to be able to score that twice. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay. Wait, no, sorry.
Alright, so what can I get? I can get... So I get that one.
Alright. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Dante? Did you get anything? Okay. Yeah. Is he crying? Yeah. Poor fella.
My assumptions were no one for.
You not feeling good?
Oh no.
Alright, so my turn? So, let's say I...
Hopefully it doesn't get any higher.
Alright.
Oh, the picture wants out. Also, is it okay to get something to drink?
Yes, that's fine. Get me water, please.
Don't open the card.
Okay, I won't. I will play this. And I will get a yellow and a purple. I'll put the purple right here. And I'll put the yellow here. And I don't have 4, so I'm not going to get any points there. We're waiting for Alex. How's everyone doing today? So I keep seeing these tweets from Paizo about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and obviously I retweeted it if you guys were on my Twitter. So Pathfinder 2.0 is soon to be out, and that includes a adventure card game too. So they've kind of revamped that, so I'm super excited to check that out at Gen Con this year. I'm going to be going to Origins for probably just one day, unless I can find a way to afford more than just one day. But that's the plan. I mean, I'd like to be able to get a hotel room, but we are tight right now because of just other things that have gone out, with the remodel. It's just all the remodel. But, Gen Con is definitely happening, and so that's good for that.
Found my coffee cup.
Where was it?
It was with your, mugs and stuff. I'm guessing...
Maybe because it's a tumbler?
I'm guessing that Anna put it in there.
Couldn't tell you. But it's your turn. Alright, my turn. Did you score? Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotta get that.
Jimmy.
Your turn. I need some more green. Alright, so I'm gonna play this. Let's take these two and I put here and here. And then I'm gonna score because I got this red here and a 3x3 and I got 2. So I'm gonna get 4 points.
Alright.
Catching on?
Yeah. Slowly.
I'll take that one.
This is pop. I think. Maybe. Possibly. Anyway.
Your turn. Well, I'm glad to see that the feed is still going.
I thought.
The last time we did a live stream, the feed got messed up, but then so did the volume.
Oh. Is anyone watching?
No, but that's okay. Just call it a test run. Because we need to start running some folklore. Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which I think when I run folklore, I'll have the camera set up over there on that corner, going this way. That way people can get up and go and do things. Alright, so I can actually take a card.
Can you now?
I did.
I'm so proud of you.
You're gonna get it.
I already get it.
Did you?
Yeah.
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
I will.
But I do have another question.
What?
So, like, with this card, for instance, like, does that have to be the exact sequence?
They have to be diagonal from each other.
Okay.
That's all. They can't be side to side. It has to be diagonal.
Okay.
And they have to be 2 or higher. So I'm going to get 2 purple. I'll place it there. And then 2, 1 more yellow, but not diagonal from any 2 or more red. Your turn. Excuse you.
I said excuse me.
Well, I need some green, so I'm going to take that one. I'll put this here.
Was that a 2 green or something? Oh, why? It's good.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some weather stripping. I'm going to stick it into this groove here. That way there's like a rubber pad kind of in there that kind of holds the cards better because I knock these out so many times.
Makes sense.
I need a player, one of my player shields up so you can't cheat and look at my cards.
I don't want to know cards.
We could play Firewall Island. You haven't played that yet, have you?
I kind of have.
When?
When we did that demo day for the birthday.
Okay. I need to get a taller tripod too. What?
I said, yeah. I was thinking because, like, I had that. For some reason I was thinking my easel was a tripod, and I was like, oh, wait, no.
My turn?
No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Strategizing.
As long as you don't hurt yourself.
I'm not gonna hurt myself, okay?
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, no, you can answer that, so.
Alright, my turn?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna play that. Get these. I'm gonna put this here. I'll get this and put it there. And so I'm gonna get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What are you thinking? Again, don't hurt yourself.
I'm not gonna hurt myself, okay? You know, unlike you, I actually remember some of the stuff I learned in school.
Yeah,
Like history and science.
Okay.
And how to plan things out.
And what's that have to do with me hurting myself?
Well, I mean...
Yeah,
you look like
that's
you were
what I thought.
No, you look like you were hurting yourself thinking during timeline, so...
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah. Do I want to do that though? My turn.
So Jared came over last week with Travis, and he brought a game called Mechs vs. Minions.
Mhm.
That game was so awesome.
I think you told me about it.
I'd so like to get that one. It is so simple. It's a programming game. You play cards and then you do programs. So what can you score with that one?
Just one.
Where? Alright.
Ooh, that was a close one.
Sure it is.
Dang it.
Alright, so...
Could you take a card?
What?
Could you take a card?
Could I take one?
Yeah.
Why do you want me to take one?
Because I just want you to.
How about you just don't worry about what I do?
How about I do?
Let's
worry
not
about you?
worry about what I do, just worry about what you do.
But I have to worry about what you do, just in case you end up home.
Well,
Or if you help my
that's
plan.
just life sometimes, you know. Sorry. You stink.
Yeah, it's fine. I realized that a long time ago.
Alright, I guess I'll play this one. Get these two greens. So I'm going to have to put this Well, I think I kind of shot myself in the foot. Let's say I put this there, and then put this one there. And now I got one of these, so I'm gonna get 5 points.
Very nice. I don't need any. Why not? That's what I thought. Don't throw it at me.
I didn't catch it.
No.
Alright, so I guess I'll take this one. With this one point that you left
Okay.
there.
That was yours, not mine.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
well I took it. I took it back. Your turn.
Good for you. You didn't flip that one over.
Well, you know what? You're fired.
Well, you know, it's your job.
Okay, well, keep going.
I'll take mine back.
Oh, no wonder the water didn't taste that good. You didn't get me a...
It's water.
No, there's a difference. Ice Mountain's better than...
I'm sorry that I didn't get you your
Because that's
mineral
spring water. That's spring water. This is purified water. This will taste like metal and chemicals.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't get you.
Yeah, I'll put it in your... Yeah.
Okay, I'll drink it. I'm not... I'll press
My turn?
about what water I drink. As long as I have water.
Well, let's
to be
not be
living.
cocky. Alright, my turn. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 purple. One here. I'll put one... Good. There, and I got a 3-tier green, so we get 4. Did you take one and not put it back? There we go.
That was you.
All right.
No, not really. Alright. I can spare it.
So I'll play that. Get a red and a green. I'll play the green. There. I'll place the red.
Sweet, can you move stuff?
Nope. And so I got 1 3 going this way and another 3 going this way. So I'm gonna get 8 points.
Pretty sure it's clear to say you won.
I don't know. You got quite a bit of points over there.
Yeah, but do you see how many you have? You have a lot.
The game's not over until it's over. No need to get angry about it. Goodness.
The corner.
What?
Nothing.
Are you gonna make it? It's okay.
No, it's not me.
It's okay.
No, it's not
Alright,
okay.
so I'm going to take this. And I'm going to take these two yellow. And I will put one there. Right? And then I'll put the other one.
Dang.
Oh, we're gonna put the other one up. Actually, I don't want to put that there. Well, yeah, I can put that there. And then I can put this other one. This one right there. So I got purple, green here, so there's one, and I got two. So that's gonna give me 10 points.
You good?
Yep. Alright, I'll play this one. It's gonna be 2 red. I can put this here. And I guess here. Right? Because then I have purple and yellow here, so there's one. Purple and yellow, there's 2. So another 10 points. I got this colorful reef going over here.
Yeah, good for you.
So this here means you'll get 2 for every 2 stack of any color. So if you want more 2s.
Yeah, I'll take what I have.
Okay.
Which is 2, so. Doesn't matter to me.
Planning ahead.
Yeah, I am. And this should work out just nicely.
Alright, your turn.
Oh, it's my turn already?
Yep.
Alright. Am I gonna have enough? I should, it's fine. As long as you don't ruin
Ruin what?
my magical plan. Oh, what?
Knock it all over.
Actually not. Alright. Your turn.
I hear you, I was just looking.
Your turn.
Alright, your turn.
Let's see. That.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Oh, I kind of have to do it.
Okay.
What I'm wanting to do, or what I'm needing to do.
Then you're going to get 1 for every red one. So you're going to get 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I know what I'm doing.
Okay, as long as you know.
You don't know.
Right, I don't know. Right. So let's say I play this one here. So I'll get 2 purple.
Oh, I was gonna say.
And let's say I do that. Let's say I do
So what happens if you don't have any cards in your hand?
nothing. You just keep you draw another one. So now I'm going to get 3 points for each red and green next to each other. So there's 1, There's 2. There's 3. It's going to be 9 points. 2, 3. I'm just going to take a 10 and give 1 back. So it's your turn again. Yes, yes, yes.
Why not?
Alright, so I'm going to play this, get 2 greens, and I will put them there. Let's do 1 there. Alright, so red and purple next to each other. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Get 12 points. Actually, I'll just take a 3 and give 1 back. Your turn.
Don't shoot me.
Jerry just sent me a picture of him having too many bones under toe.
Of what?
Under toe. Too many bones.
Oh.
I would like to get the expansion that lets it turn into a campaign.
Mm.
Awesome.
What?
That's awesome that he had that. But
Oh.
no, I'm not playing Descent live. Why did it say Descent? Let's change that. guess I just realized it said Descent, not International Tabletop Day. There we go, that's better. My turn? I believe so.
Well, no. I took the loss of the Reds.
Oh, so the game is over.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get rid of our other cards. And count up your points.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
How many did you have?
How many did you have?
I asked you first.
48.
48?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good number.
Well, I guess you had like 70 something.
Yeah, 70 something, yeah. No need for me to rub it in your face, so I don't have to tell you.
You better tell me.
At 85. Want to play again?
No.
Want to play something else?
What time is it?
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Yeah.
So then if you don't want to play this again, then let's put it up.
Did you grab the thing? They're all done for.
So I'm going to move the mic for a moment. Nope, can you pick it up?
Yeah.
Just gotta do. I'm going to drape it over. Careful.
Don't worry, the table caught it.
Did you like it? Huh?
Yeah.
You think Mom would like it?
Maybe.
She likes Azul. You think that you've played Azul before, have you?
Yeah.
Which one do you like more?
Azul.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you haven't played this one enough. Can you grab the other part of the box, please?
Where is it? No, I can't. I was like all that remains, and I was like, hey, but now it's one thing remains. It's just on time at the bottom.
Take the boards out, please. Had some really good combos.
Yeah, but you know, it's my first time playing it. So.
I know. I think you did fairly well. You broke 30.
What did they get when they played?
What?
What did like Travis and?
Well, Travis didn't play this. Jared did.
Yeah. What did he get?
I can't remember, but I think he beat me both times we played.
Have they played it before?
Nope. We learned together. First time.
Nice.
Let's see what else we can play. Oh, forgot one.
Nice. Can I make a request?
I can always say no, but yeah, sure.
Can it not be the longest game in existence?
Sure. Yeah, we're not gonna play Gloomhaven, don't worry.
Good.
Something good, something watch-worthy. So, something watch-worthy would not be... Let's learn how to play Dinosaur Online. Huh? I'm kidding. That one says it plays in 90 to 120 minutes.
Yeah.
And then let me see what's over here.
I mean, like, it's just gonna take longer to actually learn how to play it.
Maybe, maybe not.
And if you haven't noticed, that game be kind of slow.
What game?
What?
What game?
I never said the game.
I thought you said that game could be kind of slow.
No, I said if you know, I can be kind of slow.
Yeah, that's just because you're slow.
No, it's just because I think a lot about what I'm going to do.
If you play too many bones.
No.
No?
No.
Well, Dragonfire.
Nah. I'd rather play that with more people. Or with Charlie and, not have him run it.
Okay. He doesn't know how to run it.
Yeah.
He's causing us to die.
Exactly.
Let's learn how to play this game.
What's this game?
Wonder.
Huh?
Wonder.
It better not be Barnacle Bay.
It is Barnacle Bay. Why?
No. How long does it take?
It says an hour.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well, we can stop it any time. We're just going to learn it. We're just going to play and kind of learn it. Okay?
Wait, does it say the Cult of Carnival?
The Cult of Barnacle Bay.
They're pandas.
Yes.
Mystery solved. The cult is all made up of pandas.
There's a rule book. Look at these miniatures.
Why are there blue ones?
Why are there what?
Are those the heroes?
The one in the green.
Yeah, the teal mint.
And here's some more heroes.
More?
Yep.
Are there any good?
They're all good.
Well, not that, but like, that's interesting.
Yeah. So this is the initiative.
Oh, that's for that one. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'll look at them.
There's the
Are there
here.
any?
Look at this guy here.
I just want to see if they have any boxes. Look at that, it's my best friend. It's probably related, like a second cousin to the Chimera.
Bear shark. So.
Oh, there we go. That's kind of like a fox. What's a golemmancer?
A what?
Is it like a necromancer but with golems? Or robots or something?
Maybe. This one in there.
The dragoon rocks. Talia? What is Talia doing here? get back to your homeland, Percy Jackson.
Panduzu, so we don't have to play with him.
Okay, what about these character sheets?
So those ones, there we go. Oh, we got here's our dice. Give you plenty of bags.
Box? Yes, it is. So, warrior though. That's a, no, that's not what I want. Be pretty cool. Tank. So it's either, did you take the one I was looking at? Oh no.
Who were we looking at?
Sorry about you too.
There's Thalia. Is that who you were looking at?
Nah.
I guess that'll be Gunbjorn. The tank. But John's kind of cool. He's a bard. That'd be really cool is if...
You know what? I'm going to be Mary.
Mary had a little lamb?
Sure, if the lamb is robotic and evil. That's what it looks like. Someone's looking for you.
I know, I can hear him. I'll go see what he wants. What, buddy? What do you need, buddy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jojo. I'm sorry. Where's my girl? There she is. She's like a fennec socks. Like one of those socks that are small but have the really big ears. They're like too big for their head. Man, that's probably my spirit animal. With these huge ears, but I'm like, no, I'm good. Well, their hands, no, I'm good. This is what I do in my spare time. Talk to myself. And rap, excuse me. I get +1 magic action. Whoops, okay. Wait. Magic infusional spell attacks are now melee instead of ranged. Reflective barrier. A crit death roll causes knockdown to one enemy / crit. Cat, don't eat my feet. Hey, we talked about this. We don't eat feet. Kitty cat, I will hurt you. We don't eat feet. Ma'am, I will. I love you. Yeah, I'm sure like that. But like, don't eat me. No. Ah. Kitty cat, leave it alone.
What was she doing?
Well, first she was trying to eat my foot. Then she decided to eat my hand.
That's good.
And then she decided to try and murder my hand. So I said, no, we're going to be nice.
So
To the only person who actually loves you.
you're gonna be Mary?
Yep.
Have a little lamb?
No, Mary.
Places white as snow?
No, Mary.
I'm gonna be
Is a little fox.
Gumsjorn,
Who's gonna
who lives in the forest on Drury Lane.
That's the muffin man.
Oh.
And he doesn't live in the forest.
Oh, where do you live?
On Drury Lane.
Oh. Well, you just said he didn't live in Drury Lane.
No, I said he lives on Drury Lane. He just doesn't live in the woods, so.
I'm just messing with you. Don't get your knickers in a twist.
What did you say?
Knickers, your underwear. It's like a British term.
I know what it means.
Do you? I don't think you do.
I think I do.
So there's a chalk. There's an advance. Oh, there's more events here.
Yay.
We'll do the introductory, obviously, adventure.
How long is that
Here. Look at these awesome
eat,
dice.
right?
What?
What?
You eat?
No.
What'd you say?
No.
It smells like my feet?
No!
Dice.
I didn't say anything.
You said something. I'll just set those aside and pop them as we go. So this is initiative. You have Bobo?
No, what?
Bebo? No. Bjorn, Liz, you have Mary. Mary? So what does Mary start with? Does it say?
What does Mary start with? I don't know. Or what to say.
Let's see.
She looked like a fennec fox.
What's that mean?
It's an animal.
Well, it says Mary's Earth Shatter. Starter gear for Mary. I'm gonna be Gumsjorn, so Gumsjorn, you gotta have something good.
Oh, yeah.
We got Gumsjorn's hammer. Who's Liz?
Not me.
You have a robot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing these aren't needed. But I gotta get Gumsjorn. Initiative tracker out.
He's a polar bear.
Yes, he is a polar bear.
See,
He is the kind of polar bear that eats you.
you see, a fennec fox is a type of fox. He has a small body, a pretty big head, with them large ears
Yeah?
that look like it's gonna fall over because its whole body's just like out of proportion. So kitty witty when he was a kid.
Oh.
Okay.
Trevor. You get initiative trackers.
What? She gets a spear? What?
The cards that say spawn. So spawn cards. We have treasure deck level 1. Okay, treasure deck level 1. We have relic cards. Okay, so set those aside. We got treasure deck level 3. Is there level 2? Okay, so there's level 2. And it's a level 1. Makes sense to put these with these. I'm not sure what those are, but we don't need these guys out anymore.
So there's 3 versions.
What?
There's 3.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm sure one of them is me on my phone.
Yeah.
One of them is probably the computer.
Oh. We'll learn someone else.
Someone else will be watching. Good.
Fancy.
And so if you are tuning in, we are setting up to learn how to play The Cult of Barnacle Bay, Wander.
Yeah.
We just played Reef earlier, Before that, we played Timeline. But we played Science and Discovery. So there's event deck there. Chalk. So actually, put that there.
What's chalk?
That's a good question. I don't know. So I'm guessing these are the player dashboards. So basically you set your hero card on there. Have 5 total. Come on. Level 1, level 2, level 3 enemies. I'm sure that will come in handy. So let's set up the campaign book. There's got to be an introductory story in here.
And if there isn't?
How to read the scenarios.
That's a cool looking book. There's a map on the back.
It's an intro scenario. Okay. There's a story.
Oh yeah.
How to read the scenarios. Oh, so let's read this. It says, on this blessed day, and on this blessed morning, Brother Bartholomew, Bart looked up from the wet length of rope he was currently winding around the underside of his elbow. It was a mundane task, one so commonplace that his mind often wandered off as he did it. There had been times that he had looped and wound that very same wet rope around his arm for half an hour. Bart only snapped out of his empty stare when his lead hand slipped past the frayed end and swung wildly in the air, just like a foot surprised to find there was no more step left in the staircase. Bart shook his head. His mind hadn't completely emerged from the foggy depths that it had just been floating in. Which there's a typo. They capitalized O and A there. Floating. Yep.
Yeah, I can't see.
Can you see it? Capital O, capital A, and floating.
Yeah.
He released the length of rope and lifted his free hand up over his eyes to block out the pittance of rain that this morning had earned. In front of him stood Brother Wilkins. As usual, he had his hood up, with his long grayed ears curled down the side of his face, hanging out of his robe's neckline. A monk at the local church, Brother Wilkins was a kind man but a bit pushy with his religion, a religion that Bart had given up some time ago. Wilkins smiled at Bart and took a careful step toward him, managing to miss two rounded and worn cobblestones of the street. Wilkins' foot landed directly into a rather deep puddle. Bart's eyes dashed away from Wilkins' face and chased the source of splash he had just heard. They finally arrived at the source of and found both of Wilkins' feet soaking, again, capital O and capital A and soaking, in a puddle. He couldn't help but let out an audible huh. "Did you hear me, Brother Bartholomew?" Wilkins said, as he pulled his hood back from his face and allowed his long furry ears to roll up into the air. Bart replied, replied Bart, as his eyes moved up from Wilkins' feet past the soaked bottom of his robe, and then back to Wilkins' face, where he found his eyes locked onto him. They were wide and glassy, like the skin was stretched tight, trying to hold his eyes in their sockets. He smiled, His smile was visibly strained. "Right," Wilkins said. "Brother Bart." "Just Bart, no brother." Bart wiped away the rain that had soaked through the matted fur on his forehead. "A shame you fell out of a favor with the church." A few beads of water ran down Wilkins' head, one of his eyebrows, and streamed into his eye. Bart winced emphatically. He was familiar with that sting that saltwater air caused the rain to have, but Wilkins didn't notice. His wide eyes and strained smile sat frozen on his face. Bart cocked his head, then looked back to the rope, finding it more comfortable to break eye contact with Wilkins. "Way I figure it, church fella out of favor with me." Bart began wrapping the rope under his elbow and over his hand again. "Ain't nothing in Barnacle Bay, nobody that got sense have time or money to go to church the way you expect them to. Sure fine once a week, that's okay. But then you're saying 3 times a week, and then after that every day. Now you got them coming in for a morning service and then again for the evening service." "Only if the sermon moves them," Wilkins interpreted. "Sure, seems like whatever you're preaching now," Bart replied. Bart trailed off as he glanced over his shoulder. Down the road a ways, the church began to ring its bells. It was meant to call for the town to gather, though now most of the town folks were already gathering around the doors of the church before the bells rang. "Truly it moves the enlightened ones," Wilkins quietly said, seemingly to himself, but loud enough for Bart to hear. Bart turned his focus back towards Wilkins, but when he did, he found a visage he was not prepared for. Still frozen in a painful smile, Wilkins' face was now covered with rain, his hair matted down to the flesh, and the rain poured past his eyes and down his cheeks, dripping into the bunched up collar on his hooded robe, a robe that was now well beyond damp. Bart stuttered. "I gotta get to the boat." He stood up and slid. He stood up and slid the rope over his shoulder. I think it should be slid. Yep, they put slide. Get down. As he tucked the frayed ends through the rope itself, he bent over to grab his folded net. "That's about the only good thing church has been doing lately, keeping less and less people off the shore at peak fishing times." Bart turned his back to Wilkins. "I guess in that way, yes, it is a blessed morning." Bart began his short walk towards the town's gate. 2 massive wooden doors guarded by the biggest brutes in town. Well, usually guarded by the biggest brutes in town, and it had become all too common for the guards to not be at their stations when the church was in session. This morning was, of course, no different. The guards were among mass of folks waiting for the church doors to open. Bart found it funny, only in Barnacle Bay could bears become religious. Must be the boredom, he thought. No, brother," Wilkins called out, loud enough for Bart to hear him. "Any morning in which the water overtakes the land is a blessed one." "It's called rain," Bart huffed, calling back loudly without turning around. "The only thing it's good for is soaking your clothes and breaking the surface tension of the sea. Gets them critters on the bottom to rise to the top." Bart reached the large wooden gate and pressed on it. The gate swung open slowly, while letting out a pained growl from the rusty steel accompanied by rotten old wood crackling around the bolts that it held up. And that they will, Brother Bartholomew, and that they will," Wilkins said in the distance, just loud enough for Bart to hear. Bart left the gate open as he stepped out into the rocky shores of Barnacle Bay. If they want to keep the gates closed, then they need to keep the guards on them, he thought. Bart made his way down the uneven shore and pushed closer and closer towards the coast. As usual, a thick fog blacked out the beach, making it nearly impossible to see the pitiful dock where Bart kept his boat. It didn't matter, though. He knew his way. At this point, the fog could be blinding and deafening, and Bart could find his vessel. The path from his house to his boat had been permanently etched into his brain like ink on canvas map. That's why, when he took what should have been his first step off the beach and onto the rotten dock, but instead found his foot sinking into wet sand, he was shaken. Coincidentally, or almost mystically, just as Bart questioned if he had miscounted his steps while replaying the odd conversation with Wilkins in his head, the fog broke, and there, being pushed farther and farther out to sea, were the remnants of the dock, dismantled. No, they were destroyed, ripped apart, and spread amongst the waves. They were useless, and the boats, Bart could just barely make out their silhouettes as a group of empty, soulless vessels, aimlessly drifted away from the inhabitants of Barnacle Bay. Bart stumbled back, his mind raced, and his heart shuddered. Had the church done this? Had they destroyed the only industry in Barnacle Bay to force the townsfolk to start attending their sermons for an entirety of a day, every day? He didn't have to think too long on that, for the sea was stirring, bubbling with a wrath like he'd never seen. Under the surface was something that was obscured by the fog and the foam from the waves, but something that didn't want the dock to be there. Something powerful enough to remind the inhabitants of Barnacle Bay that they did not hold dominance over the ocean. Bart turned back and looked at the rotting walls of Barnacle Bay, the wooden fence that for so many years had only stood up against the rolling fog, looked aged and frail. He felt it in his stomach. There was no safety to be found in his home, but where else do you go? Bart stumbled over the loose rocks and sand. He tripped and fell in his hurry to return to the warmth of his home. He told himself a nice fire and dry cloths, and before long the Wanderers Guild will be here to discover just what had destroyed the dock. Through the fog, Bart could see the gate he had left open, and just beyond it were the silhouettes of the town folk milling about the streets. They must have gotten out of church early. He felt his feet land harder and harder, step after step, his heart pushing him to move faster and faster. Normalcy, it was there, just past the last stretch of beach and beyond the gate. His home. His home was so close. That's when a guard stepped through the fog. It was one of the bears, maybe Roman, but it was impossible to tell at this point. Twisted and hairless, the guard had been changed into some kind of thing, a thing that Bart had heard other sailors mention in hushed breaths, a thing that had been rumored to leap out of the sea and drag fishermen down into the depths. And here it is, head to tail, standing on the fur-covered legs of a bear. In front of him, its arms muscular, its paws clawed, and neither of which were its own. Bart took a step back. He looked over his shoulder, back towards the shore, and through the fog he could see that something was pushing its way out of the water. He returned his gaze to the guard, the half-bear, half-thing. It approached, teeth gnashing, as its mouth expelled a thick, unnatural saliva. Bart glanced past the beast and could see a young girl pushing her way through the townsfolk. That's when he realized that this guard wasn't the only one. He could see a few of his fellow fishermen with their arms coated in hardened plates and their hands mutated into claws, the very same claws of the crabs they used to catch. And Wilkins, there was the patient yet pushy Brother Wilkins too busy wrapping his tentacle arms tightly around the torso of one of the townsfolk to take notice of Bart. Continue on next page. "Girl," Bart cried out. She stopped as she looked through the legs of the mutilated guard and saw the poor old man who had fallen backwards into the sand. Bart said, Go tell the Wanderers Guild." The girl's face fell sullen as she watched the guard move closer to Bart. They locked eyes for a moment, and in that moment the fear drained out of her face. Instead it became filled with an empathetic sadness, a realization that both she and Bart were resigned to the fate that laid ahead of him. She let those sweet, sad, innocent eyes meet his for another moment longer, and then she broke and pushed her way past a few more creatures and out towards the gate that led to the mainland. Bart looked up from where the girl once stood and focused his eyes on the beast that was now just a few feet from him. The thing opened his mouth. Saliva stuck to its teeth, creating a spider web of thick, sticky strands. It leaned in, and Bart could smell a heavy stench of an unbearably foul breath wafting from deep within the thing's belly. He closed his eyes, and for a single brief moment the rain went from falling cold and blunt upon his head to feeling warm and sharp. He is dead. The end.
Does it say that?
No, I just have that. So he went from being cold in the rain to being in something's mouth with something sharp. So welcome to Barnacle Bay. The girl, the priest, and the cult of Barnacle Bay. It's been said that when one constantly faces the growls of a hungry beast, that the rustling of leaves often goes unnoticed. Inversely, it has always been said that leaves left the rustle may lead to any unexpected fate. It's a lot to read there. It kind of tells you the story of how they got there. So the objective is defeat all the enemies, reach the end token.
Oh, yay. Does it give an estimated time?
What?
Does it give an estimated time of how long it's going to take?
No. It doesn't. Well, like I said, we're just learning, so we can just stop at any time.
Mm-hmm.
It's no biggie. Yeah.
I thought there's just a thing of
What?
bread, and then there's a little red panda laying on the ground.
Red panda?
Is that the child? Is that the children?
I don't know. Alright, so let me see those. So, actually, I'm going to set that down. There's the smaller ones. So let's see. I'm going to need this one. It shows a tile. Maybe it's the back side of this. Yep, okay. Which I understand, but we'll figure it out. And then it shows oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I just need one board. So, see, it's getting easier. Ooh, creepy. Lucky. Tentacles. That's the one I need.
I wouldn't care.
What?
That was an advertisement.
So let's set this right here. It's gonna go over there. I'm not sure what these are. Initiative markers. Alright.
What dildo?
That's gonna go there. What about there? And I'm assuming that this will flip. Yep. Okay, so everything we need is right there. So we need one start tile.
That tickles to do.
3. There's an end. A start tile.
Hey, Jojo. You don't eat feet.
So we're going to start here. Chicken rancher,
Trying
put
to
it
eat my
there.
feet. What?
There's 4 of these, it says. Okay, so one here, one there, one there, one there. And this is cat. I'm gonna stomp on your face.
Oh, you better not stomp on my cat's face.
You're biting my foot.
Welcome to my world.
Alright, so you're gonna get one of these for your tracker.
I don't know who's nice to her.
So what are these question mark things? There was no other chits. There was. There we go. Oh, nope, sorry, this goes here. This goes here.
Why are there question marks?
Well, I'll figure it out. I don't know. That is a good question. But I'm not sure yet.
That's nice.
Don't be such a sour patch kid.
I'm not.
Alright, so I need a treasure token. There's treasure.
Oh boy.
Treasure's gonna go here.
It's all mine.
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 This here. We need that boss down there. Alright, so once the scenario is complete after a hard fought battle, the Wanderer found themselves at a crossroads. Okay. So there's that. It was just before what?
Never mind.
Okay. It was just before lunch when the bushes outside of the Wanderer's camp began to shake. The fresh roasted thoraxes that spun just above the warm yellow flames that licked at them kept the Wanderer's minds clear and ears closed. more focused on the meal to come than on the perimeter of their camp. The wanderers were abnormally unaware of the frightened small girl that was about to come rushing into their lives. Crashing through the branches and stumbling into the clearing, the girl tripped and fell between the two perfectly set tents, landing face first just outside the open flame of the fire pit. The wanderers leapt to the girl's aid. She stuttered, panicked, and unsure how to even describe what she had witnessed. She was so young, but her eyes was the dark reflection of a lifetime of fear. While the details were foggy, this much was known: Barnacle Bay had fallen to an evil force, and the Wanderers Guild was needed. One member of the group was selected to take the girl to the closest safe haven, while the rest readied their bows, sharpened their swords and wits, and headed towards Barnacle Bay.
Can I take her?
No. It was just over a day's hike to the outskirts of Barnacle Bay, while easily accomplished for the Wanderers. It was a mighty feat for such a young child. Upon arriving, they found the doors sealed shut. When needed, the Wanderers have happily applied the brute force first rule. But before they even had a chance to attempt to break down the doors, a voice spoke to them. Old, soaked, and saggy, a priest emerged from an encampment made of branches, leaves, and fishing line. He told the Wanderers that he had used to attend to the inhabitants of Barnacle Bay before the stranger Elder Bane arrived. Bane's sermons were entrancing and promised to grant the congregation with power beyond their understanding. Enthralled by these promises, Barnacle Bay chased the priest from his church. Frightened by the way the town had begun to behave, he had a ramshackle home for himself here by the doors of Barnacle Bay. The priest's misfortune turned out to be very fortunate for the Wanderers. He told them of a loose grate designed to let rainwater run off just on the east side of the city. Easily lifted, the drainage pipe under said grate would lead the Wanderers into the city's catacombs. There they could emerge unannounced and without having to break down any doors. While this did please most of the Wanderers, a few of them were disappointed that their urge to fight would go unsatiated for just a bit longer. They thanked the priest and headed to the loose gate. Their goal was to reach the catacombs of Barnacle Bay and catch their first glimpse of Elder Bane's congregation. The sewers were filled with twisted townsfolk who must have been twisted by the power of Elder Bane's dark sermons. The Wanderers had crossed all manner of vile beasts before, but this was something new, while somehow ringing familiar in the ancient way, as if the knowledge of these creatures was embedded into the genes, an inherited trait that told them what these monstrosities were not to be trifled with, and this Elder Bane was a foe from before their time.
Well, probably.
So, we have to reach the end token, and we have to defeat all the enemies.
Which the end token?
So the end token is going to be on another spot. So set up my character. I got my initiative card, got my item here, got this. This is going to go on the XP tracker. So this is going to go on like that. So on 0. Wish I would have made them bigger cards. So number 1, hero's name here. Number 2, hero's health here. And number 3, hero's defense. So I got a defense of 2. What's your defense?
3.
3? How do you get a defense of 3? And then 1.
My robot.
Huh?
My robot.
So then number 4 is hero's knowledge. And number 5 is experience tier.
What?
And so if you look here, there's tiers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the tiers that we're at. It's almost kind of like Ghostbusters. I don't know if you want to play Ghostbusters.
Kinda.
It's like when you get to certain tiers, you have more things that you can do. So number... What was that? Huh?
What's that?
Number 6 is heroes' abilities. It says abilities are special skills that heroes can use in battle. They are unique to each hero and can have a large impact on successfully finishing a scenario. All heroes automatically start with 1 ability at tier 1. For all tiers containing a choice between 2 abilities, you can only choose 1 ability. You cannot change an ability once you have been selected, and once it has been selected until you reach a new scenario. You gain access to new abilities by raising your hero's experience. You gain experience by defeating enemies in the game, or when another hero is the first to break into a new tier of experience. Abilities also have certain keywords applied to them, such as pierce and cleave. Oh, it's a cat. Is there a bunny out there or something?
I don't know.
These modify your attack in different ways, creating a unique way to engage in combat for those heroes. And keywords. So then we have the dashboard. Number 1, experience tracker. Number 2, experience tier. So like here, these no numbers here are tier. 3, tier spawn. Once a hero is the first to break into a new experience tier and the party gains XP, it causes more enemies to spawn by revealing spawn cards. So that's what these little red symbols mean. So like times 1, times 2, times 3, times whatever.
The boss.
Yep, the boss. Looks like the boss. Number... So that was 4, hero card slot. Number 5 says relic placement, but shows heart symbols, so I don't understand relic placement. Number 6 says wound placement, so they have 5 and 6 switched around here. This area is used to place wound tokens. Yeah. Someone was not looking when they did this book. Readied equipment would be the items here. Number 7, sorry. These are the readied equipment. In the inventory, these areas is used for all non-readied items such as armor, accessories, and weapons in reserve. Okay, so then we have to move this up to here. Just like that. And if you look on the card, it shows you how many hands it takes to hold it. Okay. And then these are darkness tiles.
Cat, I will murder you.
There's item deck over here somewhere. They're in tiers, 1, 2, and 3. Name of item, okay, whatever. So we have the item's name. Number 2 is... They did not... Okay. Item description keywords. How many paws are needed to ready this item. How many dice to roll when you perform an attack. So that number here. The bottom number. How many dice you roll. Oh, excuse me. Number 5, special rules. for the item. Okay. Treasure chest tokens. Darkness tiles. While exploring the streets and catacombs, you will enter darkness. So that's what these are, darkness here. You will enter darkness tiles where you may find treasure or trigger events. When a darkness tile shows a treasure chest, the hero immediately draws one treasure card. More details on resolving darkness tiles and events on page 27.
So the darkness could be good or bad.
Right. So then there's the initiative tracker. The initiative tracker is placed off to the side of the game board and is used to keep track of the turn order by using hero and enemy initiative cards. It also keeps track of party morale. The board is double-sided. One side shows the turn order based the heroes being used and the enemies currently in the board, while the other has a symbol next to the initiative slot that gives bonus to the hero or play. One side shows the turn order based on heroes being used and the enemies currently on the board, while the other has symbols next to the initiative slot that may be bonuses to the hero or enemy who is currently in that slot for more tactical play. So we're not going to play with that side, we'll play with just the standard side. Initiative slots. Yep. There's the advanced initiative rules. Party morale. So it says, during the game, scenarios can be lost in multiple ways. However, all scenarios are lost when the party morale reaches 0, which is represented by the skull symbol. So by this symbol, I think. Or maybe it just means on the board. So, okay, like this. Okay. The skull symbol. Beginning of the scenario, party morale starts at 4. Each time a hero gains a wound equal to their max health and becomes down. If party loses 1 morale. So I'm guessing this is what we use to keep track of the morale. All tiles and double-sided. Da, da, da. So closed spaces, the ones with the borders on them. Walls take up all the sides of a space, are fully closed off, cannot be moved or even seen through. They have this do not enter icon. So these are walls, so we have to get into here by going through these other slots. Darkness tiles, events, objectives, treasure, event deck, spawn cards. So dark tiles. Darkness tiles represent Elder Bane's magic that shrouds the town of darkness. Darkness tiles are shuffled and placed face down onto spaces on the game tiles dictated by the scenario setup section of the campaign. Darkness tiles can be revealed either events, scenarios, or hidden objectives for certain scenarios more than resolving darkness tiles. So spawning enemies. Spawning is a major aspect of the game and may affect the outcome of each scenario played. When you start a new encounter, enemies are spawned onto the board. Draw 1 spawn card for each hero plus 1 spawn card for each large size tile in the encounter. See image below for example. So we should have 5 spawn cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cat.
Alright, so when you start a new encounter, enemies spawn on the board. Draw 1 spawn card for each hero plus 1 spawn card for each large size tile in the encounter. See image below for example. When drawing a spawn card, you will... sorry. There's actually only 3 because we're only playing with 2. When drawing a spawn card, you will spawn enemies that are listed next to the current experience tier your party is in. The party experience tier is based on the hero who has the highest XP level. Refer back to tier spawn on page 7. The first spawn cards drawn spawns enemies on the closest spawn points to the heroes. Enemies continued spawning on the next spawn point in the continuous clockwise rotation. 1 spawn card per spawn point. If a spawn card lists more than 1 enemy type for their experience tier, it says we're supposed to start with 2 potions. These are healing potions. Okay, so it says game setup. Let's see, make sure I got all this. So choose scenario. Okay, we chose one. Choose your hero. We chose them. Shuffle the treasure deck. Okay. Shuffle the darkness tiles. Okay. Set up walls. Okay, place any needed wall tokens onto the board as shown in the encounter book. I don't see any. Oh, yeah, I do. There's one. But that's later. Okay. Set up tokens. Place any spawn, treasure, chest, potion, and other needed tokens onto the board as shown in the encounter layout section of the campaign book. Shuffle the event deck. Shuffle the spawn deck. Spawn enemies into spawn tokens. More information on spawning enemies can be found on this page. Okay, so we should be spawning now. Set up the initiative tracker. Place the initiative tracker within reach of the players and place the party morale token on 4. Move shuffle initiative cards and of each chosen hero and enemy type. Okay, starting health potions. Okay, encounter. Each scenario is broken into encounters. An encounter consists of all tiles that are connected. Okay, spawning enemies. Spawning is a major aspect of the game and may affect the outcome of each scenario played. When you start a new encounter, enemies are spawned onto the board. Draw 1 spawn card for each hero plus 1. Okay. So the first one is 2 grunts. And the grunts are... the sea otter with the crab and the wand. Crab hand and wand. You should be over here. Okay, so these will go here. Then we'll do next one. 2 archers. So the archers are the bunny with the tentacle.
How many do we need?
It says 2, so they will go up. We'll go up here. And then number 3. 1 grunt, 1 archer. They will go here.
There?
Yep. When drawing a spawn card, you will spawn the enemies that are listed next to the current experience tier your party is in. The party's experience tier is based on blah, blah, blah. The first spawn card drawn spawns enemies in the closest spawn point. Okay. Listed. Example, there are 4 heroes in the large tile. Draws 5 spawn cards. Da, 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 da. You may need to reveal more spawn cards than are spawn points in the encounter if in this case continue to spawn enemies in a clockwise rotation. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I use initiative tracker. Hero. Okay, hero turn. Here it is. So our actions. When it's a hero's turn, they may perform a variety of actions at the beginning of a scenario. All heroes start with 2 actions available per turn. The hero may perform actions in any order or the same action multiple times. Below is a list of the actions you can take on your turn. So you can move, attack, interact, ready equipment, trade equipment, drop items, set up, fall back. Now I wish there was a card that each player could have that would say that. So move action. You can move up to 2 spaces per move action. There is no diagonal movement in this game. You may not perform another action until you have finished your move action. During your move action, you'll be able to dodge through the enemy's attack range, move into darkness tiles, find your way around walls, and da 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 da. So when we move into a darkness tile, heroes must move into the darkness tile to investigate them. When the hero enters the darkness tile, flip the tile over and place it face up on the space. Place the hero on top of the darkness tile. Once the hero enters the darkness tile, the hero's movement is immediately ended, and they must resolve the effects revealed from the tile. Alright, so you want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, so first... Okay, initiative. Archer, Caster, Grunt, Mega, Grappling, so we're supposed to set up our initiative tracker. Place the initiative tracker within reach of the players and place a party morale token in the 4. Yeah, can I have your initiative card?
I gave it to you earlier.
When?
I don't remember when, but I know I gave it to you.
I don't think I would have put it away. You are Mary. It's not here. Yep, there's Mary. So, we gotta set up the initiative first. First is Mary. Then is the archers.
Why do I go first?
Then the grunts. And then Gums Join. I wonder if there's a token that's supposed to go to see that we move onto the initiative tracker. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so wish it showed everything that the game had. So we should take the place it on cards and choose you will face up initiative trackers experiencing the tier spawn. First hero to access a new experience tier causes enough to racket the draw. Hero turn. Okay. Wall token. You can drop items. How to use initiative tracker cards. When you begin to set up When you begin to set up the initiative tracker, pull out all the hero initiative cards for the heroes being played during the campaign. Once enemies have been spawned into the board, add the corresponding initiative cards to the stack of hero initiative cards. Shuffle the 1, 0, 12. Okay, so yeah, we did that right. So you would go first. And full space, red lines, wall tokens, water blue, attack actions, ranged attacks are noted with the range keywords as well as the range symbol located next to the number of the right side of the item card. Range cards can hit their target as long as the attacker has a clear shot, and clear shot represents an unobstructed view of an enemy in a straight line. The distance of a ranged attack is unlimited as long as nothing blocks the field of the view in a straight line. Mm-hmm. So you can't shoot through darkness.
Yes, sir.
You can move. You can't move into a full space. It says a space is considered full if it contains any combination of 4 hero or enemy modules, including grunts, archers, or casters, 2 brute modules, or a mega brute moss. Heroes may not move into or through a space of enemies. However, a hero is able to move through other hero modules. So basically you can move into this, but you can't move through it. Alright. Trying to figure out how monsters act. Enemy movement, okay. Enemy line of sight. You can determine the line of sight by drawing an imaginary straight line from the furthest back corner to the space of the enemy is standing in the furthest back corner of the space the hero is standing in. Line does not intersect with a wall token, darkness tile, red dashed line, or unnecessary space, or an accessible space mark with a dot not enemy is considered engaged and will attack. Will activate. Alright, so you can go first. Come on, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. So it was one space, you can move another one.
Do I have to?
No? Do you have range?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you going to attack?
Sure.
Okay. So cast your item card. Alright, so this symbol here means one hand, and then you're rolling 3 dice.
Also, what's critical? What are they going critical to?
Critical? See if there's a crit. A crit is when a die shows the crit symbol. When a crit is rolled, it explodes, causing another die to be rolled onto the dice pool. Many special effects are triggered on crits. For item special rules or abilities based on attack actions, the target enemy must be wounded and then roll, including a crit for that special rule. So a crit would be I think it's the burst symbol here. So you have melee and ranged, melee and shield. So yeah, whenever you roll that burst. It says 2 crit. The ability triggers when the dice roll has 2 or more successful crits for special abilities with attack actions. The target enemy must be wounded with a roll including 2 crits. Okay. Hold on, let's find out what happens. Okay, so you did 1 damage to it, and it has 3 life. Which one are you attacking?
It doesn't matter. They're the same thing. I guess I'll just do the one farthest from me.
Okay. So you did 1 damage to it. Alright, so what does it say on your card? Your actual hero card?
For level 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2.
Well, you have to pick one of those. Which one?
Okay. Crit dash death roll causes knockdown to 1 enemy /
Okay.
crit.
I'm going to use Fortitude, so I'm going to get +1 defense and +1 HP. I wish there was something to mark that. Alright. So then the archers are going to go. And the archers don't see anybody. So I'm guessing they don't activate. You cannot attack diagonal. Alright, so they are melee. So when they attack, Once enemies are within attack range of a hero, okay, enemy movement. The distance of an enemy can move is determined by the type and the level of the enemy. An enemy's base movement is one space unless stated otherwise on the enemy's stat card. More information. So what's this say here? Attacks are melee. Attacks are ranged. What's that?
No.
So it looks like the enemy can only move one space.
Okay.
Let's see how they attack though.
One's in front of me are melee.
Yes.
And then the archers are ranged.
So what is attack range? The rules are not very simple. Okay, it says normally a melee weapon can only attack enemies in the same or adjacent space as the hero using it, but weapons with reach can attack one space further away. Okay, so they will both be able to attack you.
Man.
So I'll do this one first. It's going to only attack you with one die. So it'll hit you for one, and you have defense, so how does defense work? Short for defense, and will commonly be found in the rules, item cards, and event cards. Okay, increase or decrease the number of dice rolled for defense rolls by the number listed. Kyra affected the buckler, an offhand shield, and it gives her a +1 defense, meaning she rolls. Okay, so defense is rolled. So when you attack this one for 1, it had 1 defense, so it should have rolled. And if it rolls a shield, I assume that, so it would have still taken the damage. So let's say it's this one here. Okay, and so you get a chance, so you roll 3 defense dice?
I'll go ahead and tell you so.
Yep, you blocked it. It only hit you for 1. Alright, but then this guy's going to come in here. And so he's going to attack you for 1. Nothing. Oh, so you take 1. Alright. So I'm assuming these guys over here don't do anything because they're not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's me, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to attack this one here. So I'm going to attack with 4 dice. I got a burst, so I get to roll another one. So I'm attacking with 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I understand how the dice work. Like I noticed that there's like a hatchet with a shield,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just want to make sure that that doesn't mean you get to counter strike or nothing. Continue. Kyra then rolls an additional die for the crit. Okay, so there's the additional for both. Okay. Those rules are not explained very well. Okay, so he's gonna roll defense. So you want to roll defense for him? He's gonna roll 1 defense. So I guess that's a success. And so roll 1 more. I'm assuming defense dice can explode too. Unless it's rolling for attacks. Or it's rolling for defense. Attack actions. Okay, it shows here. Alright, so alright, so it rolled what again? So it's gonna explode. So this is, you're gonna roll an additional one?
I did.
Okay. It should have had, okay. And so it's blocking 1. So it's gonna block 1. So it's gonna take 1, 2, 3 damage.
So it's dead.
So it's dead. So if I actually kill an enemy,
You go up 1. As you should.
they should have had this section and the other section together to explain combat. Hero turn. Range attack. Rolling for attacks. Interact. What happens if I successfully kill it?
Okay. I think.
I just want to make sure that I gain experience.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say. Like, it doesn't say,
I
like...
did earlier.
So I just get 1 XP?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, back to the top. It's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna attack.
So you get 1 success with the crit, so now you roll 1 more. So now you have 2. And it's going to roll 1 defense. And it's a miss. So it's going to take 2, and it's dead. So do you get XP for every time you hit it, or when you kill something?
I think it's only when you kill them. That's what I remember.
Didn't explain this very well at all. Oh, that's a... Well, there's a quick reference on the back. There's where it talks about crit. Enemy turn. Enemies that have line of sight of the hero are considered engaged and move 1 space toward the closest hero, then attack. Line of sight determine blah, 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 defending an enemy attack. Blah, 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 blah. So experience XP. XP, no. So I'm thinking, like, what if you damage something and then I come along and kill it? I mean, do you get any experience for that?
No. It's never kills it.
So
All I heard was that if you kill it, you get the XP.
yeah. Let's just go with that. All right, then you have one more action. What do you want to do?
What's their line of sight?
Their line of sight? Well, they won't be able to see you because they can't see you through the dark, and they can't see you through these red dashed lines.
So if I were to... Oh, I can't remember. So they wouldn't be able to see me?
No.
Okay, so... Jojo, I will hurt you.
Make sure we don't spawn. You know, like if we're not supposed to spawn every round or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only when we level up when we start. There's a tier spawn. Alright. So I'm going to go 1, 2 into this darkness. So I get a treasure chest. So I'm going to get 1 treasure card.
Not all of them have treasure chests, right?
Right. Well, it says treasure chest tokens are placed on the game tile indicator. Okay. So I'm going to get one of these. Okay. Alright then. It's back to you. Where were you to start with? There? Okay. And they can't see you. Make sure I'm not missing anything. There's tiles. Red lines, full spaces, range attack, and attack actions. We could trade. Okay, so I do draw 1 card, treasure card immediately from the corresponding deck and place it into a slot on the hero dashboard. If a hero receives a new item, they may freely rearrange the items on their hero dashboard, including their paw slots. Alright. I'll go 1, 2.
Wait, no, I have to move. I have to be there.
You don't have to, but they just saw you run by. So.
I mean, like, I don't think you. I don't think I can attack from there or whatever.
What?
Like, I don't think I'd be able to attack if I were to.
No, you can't. No. So you can shoot there. You have range.
Yeah, I know.
Which one are you gonna attack? I'd say attack the archer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sucked.
So you hit for 1, and the archer has 0. Okay, they tell you on here how many XP you get from them. Okay, that's where it says that. Okay, so it's going to take 1 damage. It has 2 life, so the bunny has 1. Alright, so what happens next is the archer's going to attack you. So he's going to roll 1 die. He's got it, so you have to roll your defense.
What? Oh.
Yeah, you have 3 defense. Yeah. So you block it. You're good. You would have got to roll another one, but alright, then the grunt is going to go. So it's going to come here and attack you. So it's going to roll 1. And it misses. Then I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to attack the grunt. So I got 2. So I actually have a total of 6 hit points that I can lose. I'm going to put that there so I can remember. Alright, so you want to roll the defense for the grunt? So it rolls 1. So it's going to take 2. 2 there. Alright then. Then it's your turn. No, nice. Got 3 crits.
What does knockdown mean?
What does what?
Knock down.
So knockdown is when a hero or enemy suffers knockdown. Place the hero model on its side. The hero or enemy will have a -1 defense until they stand back up. For heroes, this costs 1 action. For enemies, it costs their entire turn. Heroes do not have to dodge away from enemies who suffer knockdown.
Okay, well. So I have a question. So with my reflective barrier. Oh wait, no, it's defense. Never mind. Wait, I'm attacking. Yeah, I'm attacking. Oh my goodness.
Wow. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're hitting it for 7, and it gets 1 defense.
I think it's a...
Yeah, it's dead. So you're gonna get an experience point for that. Alright, so then the archer's gonna go again. And so I'm not sure which one they're gonna choose to attack.
Wait, was that my... I think that was my first action.
No, you...
Or did I... Yeah, that was my...
Yeah, that was your first action, yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, yep. So you have... Yeah, sorry. I thought you moved first, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if, like, who do they
Okay.
choose to attack if there's more than one?
Okay, so an attack down archer. Alright, so I'm hitting it for 3.
What's up?
I'm hitting the archer for 3.
Okay. So the archer has 0 defense, so it's gonna take 3 instead.
So wait, do we have to kill all of the monsters then?
We have to get to that staircase down there.
Where the monsters are?
Yep. Okay. It does not say that I can see like what determines their target. Enemy line of sight. Use enemy line of sight wrong emergency card. One card is not protect wall. Then we consider it engaged and will activate. The enemy's line of sight is not blocked by space that is full of enemies. And you can see heroes diagonally. Back. The hero passes through an enemy's line of sight. They are engaged. Heroes. Huh. So I guess we choose.
Wait, what?
Huh?
What do we choose?
I guess we choose like who the target is of their attack, because if we're both standing here, you know, it's
Yeah.
there's nothing saying how to differentiate that, at least that I know of, unless it says on the back. Yeah. Alright, so they're not going to do nothing because they can't see nothing, so I'm going to have to move. 1.
You can't move diagonal.
Huh?
Said you can't move diagonal.
Nope. But if I know if I move here, they're going to see me. So I'm just going to chill there until you get caught up.
So do you want me to move ahead of you, or do you want me to chill with you?
You can chill with me, it's okay. Actually, I have 1 additional movement. That's okay, yeah. So just chill with me because I'll be able to go. So they won't do nothing. So I can go 1, 2, 3. Then I can attack the archer. So I'm going to attack with 4. So I got a burst. Can you get that?
Okay, but you lost the boss.
No. Talk, so there are different monster decks for different bosses. Yep. Okay. Krex, Elderbane, Mega Brute. Okay. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to it, and it's an archer, so it has no defense. So that guy is gone. And I gain 1 XP. Alright. Your turn.
I'm not gonna be able to do anything.
You have line of sight of it, though.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, hold on. Like, you cannot attack diagonal.
So no, I don't. What's with this no
Clear shot. What's clear shot? It shows. Let's see here. Clear shot. Yeah, you can do clear shot, yep.
Alright.
Shoot away. You got a crit. You got another crit.
There we go.
So you got 3, and it has.
It's dead.
Yep. All right.
I'm on level 2.
So these guys are gone. So then I'm gonna go. So I'm just gonna step into here. It's a treasure. It's a ranged weapon. Might be helpful to you. I don't know.
But
It's a shurikens. All right, your turn. You can go into the darkness.
I know. That's what I was gonna do.
You got another treasure.
My character's dead.
Do 1 defense, 1 HP.
Wait, what?
So then I'm gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna interact with this. Actually, I think.
Wait, how many XP do you have?
2. How many do you have?
4.
Yeah, so you are actually. So you are in the next tier, aren't you? So that would have happened here, right?
Yeah.
So when you level up, that causes spawn. And I think I gain XP when you level up too.
You do.
I don't know if I just go for the next level or what.
Can we just not be in spawn?
I'm just trying to figure out if I can get the rules down. There's like a glossary, which would say more of the pages of.
I need a better weapon.
You need a what?
A better weapon.
Well, you can have my shurikens. Plus 1 attack, reroll. After a certain amount of experience is gained, the heroes will access a new experience tier with a total of 5 experience tiers available, represented by the Roman numerals. When a hero is in the first to gain access to the new experience tier, all other heroes gain XP based on the experience tier the hero has reached. For example, when a hero reaches tier 2, the party gains 1 XP, tier 3 gain 2 XP, tier 4 gain 3 XP, tier 5 gain 4 XP, next they cause a tier spawn. Tier 4 gain 5. Okay, so I gained 1 because you're level up. Once a hero is the first to break into a new experience tier, and the party gains XP, it causes more enemies to spawn by revealing spawn cards. The number next to the symbol is the number of spawn cards to reveal. When a hero has reached their experience tier, for example, the hero 2, draw 1 spawn card. Alright,
So where would the monster spawn?
So it's 1 caster. So it went 1, 2, 3. So it goes here.
I saw the caster there.
Oh. Sorry, yeah.
Right there.
Yep. And the caster would get added to the initiative. With thundering, lightning.
Storm, go away. We don't want you.
So I'm just going to add it to the end of the tier, or the initiative. So caster. Alright. So I would have moved. I moved there, because then you were going to go first.
You were still on the one thing before I went out.
Yeah, so like, at the end of your turn, when you killed that thing, I moved into the darkness.
Yeah, so you would be on the darkness.
So you would be on the darkness? Yeah. And there's a treasure here too. Did I give you your treasure card? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then this guy's gonna, like, obviously then I'd go 1, 2, and 3 and then interact with this. And then get another one of those. Ooh, that'd be something good for you.
What?
Dual crossbows.
Oh, yeah.
Attacks gain pierce. But then he would have seen me, so then he's gonna move 1. Unless it says casters move 2. Yeah. So then back to the top. You would go. You do not have a range of it.
Do you mean to not have range of it?
Yeah, because of these lines here. If these red lines were here, you'd be able to see it. So then...
Hold on. Like, are we supposed to attack it?
I'm assuming. I mean, I don't... It doesn't say specifically in the book, like, do we just need to get to that tile and interact with it and flip it? So let's say we do that. Let's say I just go 1, 2, 3, I interact with that, so then this gets taken off.
So does that thing go bye-bye?
I don't know. I'm guessing. Because the rules aren't very clear.
Can we just, like, stop for tonight or whatever?
Yep, so then I can just flip this over and we can leave it like that. We would enter...
Somewhere.
We would enter here. Where's that start tile at?
It should be over there.
There's an end. There it is. So we would start here. Oops. This would come down here. Like so. Alright. Well, that's tabletop day for us. Alex
Yeah.
is tired, wants to go to bed, and so we'll just pick this up another day. And thanks for tuning in.
Thanks. Hope you enjoyed it.
Trying to learn a new game. Played a couple easy games.